apostasy because it's not all the information was put in the first video, but this guy on Remnant TV is on par and on top of all the main things that are happening in the church, and he explains it quite well. So one thing that I would like to point out is that he's explaining how the Pope Francis is starting to fall away, which if you go back into scriptures in Thessalonians talks about the falling away coming first. So what happens is we end up seeing how easily people are being deceived by the Pope, because he's accepting things in the church that weren't there almost 1600 years ago. And I say it was that long ago because the Catholic Church didn't really get started until the Council of Nicene or whatever with Constantine. So if we take a look at Thessalonians, it says in here, and then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord will consume with the breath of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. The coming of the lawless one is according to the workings of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all unrighteousness, deception among those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this reason, God will send them a strong delusion that they should believe the lie, and that they may be condemned who did not believe the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. And so this is where the church is accepting those things now, according to Francis, the inclusivity of all the nations and behaviors, and saying that everybody should unite under God. So this is the apostasy that's happening. The Pope is actually falling away from traditional church principles and values. So you're going to have a great United Nations event involving the Pope, and he's already setting the stage for that.
During a papal airplane presser on his way to Madagascar, Pope Francis said he's fine with criticism so long as the folks doing the criticizing truly want dialogue with him.
To make a criticism without wanting to listen to the answer or to want dialogue is not to seek the good of the church. It's to follow a fixed idea, right?
Is he joking? 2 of the 4 Dubia cardinals died waiting for him to answer their request for dialogue. The filial correction guys are still waiting for an answer from Francis. And last year, Francis rather famously said that he would not say one word in answer to Archbishop Vigano's credible criticisms. What is this man talking about? And there's more, of course. With Francis, there's always more. In fact, I'm in admiration of these journalists on the plane. I can't even imagine how they do it. I mean, it must be something.
And if you take a look, I'm not seeing really anybody there on the plane with masks. So obviously the mask wearing thing is kind of exclusive to the United States. I think a lot of people in the U.S. are still kind of delusional about the need for wearing that because of our media and government policies that are taking advantage of the opportunity to wield more power against the United States citizens for the use of their own interests with corporations. So If you kind of notice, they don't seem to be working for the U.S. citizens anymore. They actually seem to be working for the big tech companies because they want to institute certain things and make people follow certain laws and rules that like the track and trace and the vaccines and all of those different things that our government says is necessary to control the spread. So obviously these people here on the plane don't seem to be fazed by that. They're focused more on what the Pope is doing. So
into a nursing home with a legal pad and pen during pudding hour and taking copious notes, from old Stan, who says he was in World War II and he also knew Napoleon personally, and taking it seriously. I don't know what to do. I mean, Francis is sometimes it's heresy, sometimes it smacks of heresy, sometimes it's gibberish, sometimes it's just a stream of unbelievable consciousness. I don't know. I mean, maybe he is going into his dotage. I don't know anymore with this poor man. But again, on this plane, he was having a good time. He was really up, full of himself and having a good time. And he also says that he doesn't fear schism.
I'm not afraid of schisms. I pray that there will be none because the spiritual health of many people is at stake. That there will be dialogue, that there will be correction when someone is wrong.
He doesn't fear schism. Well, bring on the great Amazon schism then, Holiness, because obviously you're going ahead with this come hell or high water, which is why guys like Phil Lawler say that they're afraid of the Pope now. Quote, Pope Francis is not afraid of schism, Lawler tweets. I am. That's why I'm afraid of this Pope. Right with you, Phil. Holy mackerel. I mean, I don't know what this guy's up to, but never in my lifetime have I seen so many people in influential positions just exasperated, throwing up their hands. They've had enough of this guy. Last week, of course, we reported that Cardinals Burke and Brandmuller sent letters to the College of Cardinals warning of apostasy and heresy at the upcoming Pan-Amazon Synod. This week, Cardinal Burke and Bishop Schneider, they issued an 8-page declaration warning against what they call 6 serious theological errors and heresy, and calling for prayer and 20 days of fasting in the run-up to the Synod, which we, of course, completely endorse and agree with and are going to go along with. By the way, this whole thing, we're still seeing so much criticism of Cardinal Burke. He's a coward. He doesn't do enough. I don't understand. Are we looking at the same news? Because I can't even imagine what it would be like at this point if we didn't have a cardinal of the Catholic Church saying some of the things that he's saying. Like I said recently on our website, he's not a blogger. He doesn't have to behave like a buffoon looking for clickbait. But what he's doing is this is steady refusal to back down. Remember, he's an academic. He's not a street fighter. So this is very difficult for Cardinal Burke to continually be in his position where he's resisting. And
this is important to know that there are people within the Catholic Church that see what's happening, but I don't know if they can correlate all of these different things and wrap it up into into Revelation, but also into Thessalonians. Thessalonians says it right here. And the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord will consume with the breath of his mouth, to destroy with the brightness of his coming. So it's evident, it's there. We see it. There's a lot of people who don't. This is not complicated. This is easy to understand. And there's video after video after video from Mike here talking about the Pope and what's going on in the world. We got to see all these different things. There's birds falling out of the sky. There's animals dying, sea animals dying. The vaccine that's coming it's actually going to be in a different form. It won't be syringed anymore because they have the technology to go beyond the syringe and make it according to MIT. What they call a quantum dot tattoo. So we can type that in and do this. quantum dot tattoo. There it is, quantum dot tattoo. And you can see that it shows dot tattoo, dot vaccine, dot technology, and luciferase, which is actually a chemical that's called lucifer. And it's funny, it's luciferase and it's Lucifer. So, it's named after that. I don't know if this video is going to be taken down as a result, but maybe I'll figure out another way to get this word out. But you can see where this is. The technology is incredible. Just look this stuff up yourself. You'll see. It doesn't take much, but Google does a lot of censoring and search preferences to what they want you to see. So hopefully, if you just type in the right information, you'll be able to get the answers you're looking for. But all of these things, all these scriptures that I pointed out to you, this is stuff is mixed up in the Bible. But the only way to understand what's being said in the Bible is really to just read the entire book. Then you'll begin to see everything, and it'll make sense to you. So anyways, God bless, and we'll end it here.